So here's how to share your reel to your story. Go to your reel, hit the little plane icon and then share it to your story. There you go, easy, video over. Only joking. I want to show you how to get more exposure than that with your reel, reaching new people, growing your audience, getting more engagement. Before we get started, why is everyone talking about Reels? Instagram created Reels in response to losing part of its audience to TikTok. That means that Instagram is really pushing Reels content to try and win back its market share. If you post content to Reels, then Instagram is really going to push that content hard. People are realizing this, and therefore people are starting to really get into Reels. Very quickly, Reels, they are a maximum of 30 seconds long. A lot of people think they're only 15 seconds long. I'm going to assume that we all know how to create a reel. What I want to go through today is how we can effectively share that across our story and across our feed. There's a number of mistakes that I made when doing this, and I'm sharing this with you so that you don't make them too. Apologies, but I'm going to do this slightly back to front. I'm going to deal with sharing your reel to your feed first because it's a little bit more complicated. We'll then move on to how you share that in your story as well. When you publish your reel, you'll be asked if you want to post it to your feed. I suggest you do this. This will make it appear in your timeline and your grid. It's a good idea to put it onto your timeline to your followers. They're more likely to like it. That will kickstart the algorithm, so definitely I would suggest that you do post it onto your feed. So when you record a reel using the inbuilt camera like inside of Reels, then it's just standard vertical video. For the specky ones among us that are interested in that sort of thing, this is 1080 by 1920. However, and this is where you can go wrong, there is a safe zone inside of that, and that's 1080 by 1350. This is important because when you share content out to your timeline, it's only going to show 1080 by 1350, and any content that's at the top or the bottom of your reel, you know, if you put titles there or potentially the top of your head, just know that it's going to cut those off. Also, if you work to this safe zone, you'll be sure that no meaningful content is going to run underneath the text that's already in Reels when somebody plays back your video in Reels. You're able to add a cover to your reel. You can either do this by selecting a frame in the video, or what I like to do is actually create a nice graphic and upload that onto the first frame of my video. For me, I create that cover either in Photoshop or Canva. Your cover will appear in the reel section next to your account. If someone goes to your reel section, they'll see your cover as a thumbnail of your videos. But more importantly for me, I want to share my reels onto my feed, and when I do that, it's going to appear in my grid. So for it to look nice in that grid, I want to create a really nice graphic that I put on the first frame, and there's a further restricted safe zone for it to actually look nice on your grid. So this safe zone really does only apply to the cover that you create for your reel. You should still create your cover at 1920 by 1080, but it is only going to show the central portion of that in your grid, an area of 1080 by 1080. So for my cover, I will go to Canva or Photoshop. I'll create a document that's 1080 by 1920 in size, but I will make sure again that the meaningful content or the really nice graphic is now inside a safe zone of 1080 by 1080, so it looks nice in my grid. Another reason for having a cover, or at least a title, on the first few seconds of your reel is if somebody comes across your content when they're going through Instagram, comes across your reel, the first few seconds might not actually include audio. The audio might not be switched on. Something you can do, if you don't want the reel on your grid, then it is possible to remove it. It will remain in your timeline. You'll have got that initial hit that you needed to try and kickstart the algorithm. But if you're looking at your grid and you're just not happy with the way that it's looking, it is possible to remove it. I'm not sure why you would want to remove it from your grid if you have created a really nice graphic that conforms to the 1080 by 1080 safe zone. So now we've got a really nice reel. We've shared it to our feed so it's appearing in our timeline and it's appearing in our grid. The final thing that we want to do is also share it to our story. All you need to do for that, go into the reel section of your account, view the reel, and then hit the plane icon, say that you want to share it with your story, add some hashtags there if you want, post it to your story. So let's review exactly what we've achieved here. We've created a really cool reel that Instagram's going to push really hard because it's pushing reels. That's going to help you potentially reach new eyeballs and get more followers. Because you've worked inside these safe zones, you've created some content that's going to work great, whether it's in reels, whether it's in your story, whether it's in your timeline, or whether it's in your grid. Make sure that you've got a title in the first second or two, because remember, you might not have audio when people stumble across that reel in their feed. We've carefully written our description and our hashtags with SEO in mind, thinking about the keywords that are relevant to that piece of content. We've published our video into the reel section, but then we've also checked our timeline and we've checked how it's looking in the grid, make sure that it's looking right. We've shared the reel to our story, and ultimately we've created a really nice reel that's got as many eyeballs on it as possible by publishing it in multiple places. If you're looking to create better content with more creativity and less hassle, then please do consider clicking the subscribe button, hitting the bell icon so that you know all about our content and when it's coming. We hope you enjoy this one. Have fun creating reels, and that's it. I think we're done. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.